Hey there, I'm going to show you guys some alternate ways to use your die cuts, because if you're like me, we love our paper crafting items, but we also know how expensive they can be. So typically when I try to purchase something, I try to think of alternate ways I can use them besides what they're normally used for. So I created this cute little card. I have a thing about white cards. I think they're really pretty and I think they really stand out. And so I created this one using my die cuts and some blending techniques. And I used Parakeet Party and Tahitian Tide on this one. And then I'm going to use two stamp sets today. I'm going to use the Cup of Tea, and I'm also going to use the Sentiment from Flowering Tulips. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the base of your card is going to be 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score it right down the middle at 4 1/4. So we're going to get some scrap pieces of white paper. And I thought today, instead of doing the squares, I'm going to do the rectangles and just do 2 rectangles and see how that looks. Now, when you get your die cuts, these are the layering circles. This is how they come. Like this. And I was trying to think of what size I might need. But these are the circles. I don't know why I'm getting the circles out, because I said I was going to be using the rectangles. You can tell where my mind is today. I'm planning my Christmas in July series, where I'm going to try to go live with projects at least 5 days a week. So I've been getting geared up for that. Alright, let's see. They come in all different sizes, so I'm trying to see which one would fit the best going across. And I'm thinking it's going to be this one. I mean, you can see you get a ton of dies, a ton. Alright, so what I did for this last one was I took some washi tape. And it just allows me to hold it down in place while I'm blending colors. And that way it doesn't shift on me. Well, if I can get it started. And I did try to tack it down on all the sides. Alright, the colors I chose for today are Tahitian Tide and Melon Mambo. And so I've got my blue blender brush and my pink blender brush. So I think we're going to start with Tahitian Tide. And I'm just going to tap that on there. You never want to smash it. You just want to tap, tap, tap a little bit. And then you want to come off just a little bit. And then you want to start in circular motion off the paper onto inside the die. You're just going to keep making those circles. And then I'm going to come in with Melon Mambo. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to give it a couple of taps. We're going to come off a little bit so it's not so strong. And then we're just going to continue to make our circles. They're so pretty. It reminds me, this technique reminds me of tie-dye. So you just get it to the consistency of colors that you want. And then I'm just going to take this off. And then I'm going to lay it down here. what you could do, you could do this however you wanted to. You could reverse the colors. So let's start with the Melon Mambo first. And go at the top. Okay, and now we're going to come in with the Tahitian Tide. And I usually like to hold it like this with my pointer finger on top. It gives me a little bit more control. I have small hands, so it just gives me more control. Now, the more times that you tap off, the lighter the color is going to get. I just don't want the full color effect. Okay, that looks really good to me. Put these up before I make a mess. So now what we're going to do is we're going to peel these off. I'll pull the washi tape off. Then I'm just going to take a quick alcohol swipe, and I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning on my die cut, because I don't want this to go through the machine and then get it on my paper where I don't want it to be. So I'm just going to give it a quick clean, let it dry a little bit. Alright, let's cut this in half. Now bring the die cut machine in. We're going to set this piece on. Then we're going to set our die back on where we want it. And I may have to use a little bit of washi tape. Just trying to get that image out where we just colored. And if there's a little bit of white on the ends, that's okay. Okay, so let's put our top on because we're making a sandwich. We're going to run that through. There we go. So it's got a little bit cut off right there, but I'm okay with that because I think I can cover that up. You know, crafty girls do what they want to do, and that's a good thing about art too, is it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if it really bugs you, then that's something, you know, you could redo if you wanted to, but it... Alright. Down. Alright, let's create our sandwich. I just put a little bit of washi tape on just because I don't want it to shift while we're cranking this through. And you can do this with any of your dies, and it doesn't even have to be shaped dies. I mean, it could be a Christmas tree die, it could be a flower die, it could be, you know, whatever die, whatever die you were using. You could do this coloring technique with. Alright, this has a little bit excess. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a haircut. Then I'm going to bring in my card. Now this is something that you could go go either way. You could go horizontally or vertically. Okay, so I'm just trying to line these up in the middle. This is going to be covered up, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to glue these down. I love blending colors together. Like I said, it reminds me of tie-dye and, you know, what colors you're going to get when you're done. Alright, so we're going to glue that down. Then we're going to come in with our Memento black ink. And I used this morning. It's a little bit dry. So I thought while I was here, I would show you guys how to re-ink your ink pads. They come in little bottles like this. And they remind me of just like little eyedroppers. I just kind of go through, drop dots in different rows until it starts to seep in. And some people will take a plastic spoon, but once I see it starting absorbing into the pad, I don't really use a spoon unless it's not. Okay. So, we're going to use the teacup. I love this image of using color and then black on the image. I think that is so pretty. So we've got our teacup. Then I'm going to come back in with the flowers. And being this is photopolymer, I'm going to use my mat here because it needs some extra cushion. Okay. And we're just going to set this on top. Then I'm going to go around with these flowers and I'm just going to put some up in the corner. Just to give some of the corner effect. It's not so plain. I am really loving this color combination. This is a great way to see what colors work best together. That is gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love that. I love mixing the colors. And like I said, this one was made with the rectangles. This one was made with the square dies. You know, you could do circles. You could do a Christmas tree. You could do whatever die you have that has an open image, you know, where you can have enough room to mix some colors. You could even do 3 colors if you wanted to. And depending on how big your die is, you know, if it's a big die, like one of the rectangle dies that was actually, I think it's like 3 by 5. I mean, that's huge. You could do all kinds of different colors with that one. So then what I did, from the flowering tulips, I used No One Deserves a Happier Birthday Than You. I'm just going to dip that in the Memento black ink as well. I got that one really inky. Up, and I did it upside down. Well, isn't that just wonderful? Oh, oh no. Oh well. Let's try this again up here. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. So I guess we're just going to have a double combo here. So whichever way they pick up the card out of the envelope, it's going to say that they're having a happy birthday. Next thing I'm going to do is just add a few little of these glossy dots. They're so pretty. They come in Gorgeous Grape and Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, and I think this is Pool Party or Bermuda Bay. But they're really pretty. And they come in 3 different sizes. They have the mini, the medium, and the dark. So I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool. This Take Your Pick tool, is the putty side, is perfect for getting gems off. So, let's see. I'm going to use a small one. Let's see. And a medium one. And then a large one. This one didn't want to come off the track. He just doesn't want to come off. Let's see. See if it'll come off with my scissors. So we'll just give it a little bling, and normally that would have been at the bottom, like this one. But this one's just going to be unique. So I just wanted to show you alternate ways that you could use your dies, and you could also use your blending brushes, and you know, just create a different color look. And then the black really makes it pop, I think. I think that is just so pretty with the different color combinations that you can do. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for joining.